Okay, let's look at a couple more examples of dividing before I let you try some of these down here in the practice problems. So we're going to use our same steps up here, and the first step is keep, change, flip. Okay, so we're going to keep this first fraction, 6p over 6p squared plus 18p. Keep, change the division to multiplication, and then flip this second fraction. So that's going to be 10p squared over 1. Okay, keep, change, flip. Okay, now we go to step 2, which is factor. So 6p, I can't factor that anymore. It's as simple as it's going to get. Since there's only 2 pieces here, this is a binomial, so I need to ask myself, do these things have a greatest common factor? They do, a 6 and a p. So I can take a 6p out, which will leave me with p plus 3. Okay, times 10p squared, I can't do anything with that. That's as simple as it gets. And I can't do anything with 1. All right, top to bottom, can we cancel? We can cancel 6p. Top to bottom here, there's nothing to cancel. Diagonally here, I've already canceled all that out, so there's nothing to cancel. And diagonally this way, you cannot cancel. Remember, you can't cancel that p squared with that p because this p is part of p plus 3. It's all one thing. Okay, so now we multiply. On top, we're left with 10p squared. And on the bottom, p plus 3 times 1 would be p plus 3. Okay, we need to list our restrictions. What can p not be equal to? Okay, remember it comes from here, here, and also this one because it was originally a denominator. All right, so 6 times what would equal 0? 6p, that means p can't be 0 because 6 times 0 is 0. All right, what can I put in the place of p here to make p plus 3 equal to 0? Well, that would be a negative 3, so we can't be negative 3. This one is just a 1. There's no variable there, so I don't have to worry about it. But up here, in order to get a 0 for 10p squared, that p would have to be 0. And I've already listed 0, so I don't have to list it again. So this would be our final answer with our restrictions. Okay, let's look at number 4. Keep 10 over 50x minus 100. Change the division to multiplication and flip that second fraction. 10x cubed minus 20x squared over 1. All right, step 2 is to factor. We can't factor 10. That's as simple as it gets. But 50x minus 100. Okay, there's a minus there, but 50 is not a perfect square, and that x doesn't have a squared on it. So this is not a difference of squares. So I have to ask myself, is there a greatest common factor that I can take out? And there is. It is 50. So I can pull out a 50, which will leave me with x minus 2. Times, okay, up here, I have a difference. But again, x cubed, that's not going to be a perfect square. So this is not a difference of squares. But do these two things have a greatest common factor? And they do. It would be 10x squared. So I'm going to take out a 10x squared, which will leave me with x minus 2 over that 1. Okay, top to bottom, can we cancel anything? Yes, we can make this a 1 and this a 5. 10 goes into 10 once and 10 goes into 50 5 times. All right, top to bottom here, there's nothing to cancel because we have a 1 on the bottom. Okay, diagonally this way, I've already canceled out the 10, and this is a 1, so there's nothing to cancel diagonally that way. But what about this way? I can cancel out the x minus 2, and 5 will go into 10 2 times. So that 5 is going to become a 1, and that 10 is going to become a 2. So now all that we're left with on top is 2x squared, and then over 1. So when it's an over 1, we don't have to put that. So this simplified to 2x squared. Now we still have to say what x cannot be equal to. All right, so let's go here. 50 doesn't have a variable, so I don't have to worry about that. But x minus 2, what would make that 0 would be if x is 2. This is a 1. There's no variable there. But remember, we also have to do this one because it was originally a denominator. So 10x squared, what would make 10x squared equal to 0? That would be if x is equal to 0. And then what would make x minus 2 equal to 0? That would be if this x is equal to 2. So we've listed all of our restrictions, and this would be our final answer. All right, guys, as always, if you have questions, let me know.